Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and it's me again. God, I feel so much better today. I'm better than I have last time I was on here. My name is Robin Graves, and this is the world according to Graves. Um, I was going to do this whole. Let me get this straight. There we go. I was going to do this whole thing about a different subject. I come across some things happened yesterday, and while researching that, I discovered something else. So we're going to try to cover a couple of things today. I don't know how long today's going to be. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. I never know how long it's going to be. I will tell you this much though. I am a little pressed for time. So we're going to get a lot of this going and everything. Mike, this is for you. 19, 1941. It was hilarious. So yeah, I got to do that, and my significant other handed me something kind of interesting I never had before. So we're gonna give it a shot here. I don't know where this whole soda thing came from. I have no clue how it happened, but it did. Anyway, yeah, let's give this. Excuse me. Wow. You guys see this in the camera? You gotta try this. Holy crap! Diet Coke with oh, what is this? Ginger lime. Wow, that's some good shit, Maynard. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never lied to any of you guys. I won't start now. If that is good, try it. Get yourself some. Look, guys. There's a lot of things people have been talking about, and I'm not going to talk about those because it's being talked about. Why do I have to talk about something that everybody else is talking about? Now, what I'm going to talk about today is, I'm pretty sure we're all versed with the term fake news. Yeah. Um, it's not just Trump that's come with that. In fact, this whole fake news thing happened long before Trump ever decided to get involved in politics. This started happening, Jesus, back in the 80s. Honestly, it did. And it really got wound up and everything in the 90s. And that's what's really nuts about it. Now, the media has gone into business for itself, pretty much. I mean, they're pushing all these stories. They don't give their news sources. They will not give their sources. What they will do is they'll say, "Well, comes from the Allied Press," and they won't go any farther than that. You go to the Allied Press, there's no sources. This is done for a reason, so they don't have to. They can't be. How long about it? They're doing this to be wusses, so they don't have to answer questions about what they where they got it from. They just pass it on to the next guy. So, it's ridiculously dumb. Do my groups here, my notes here. PR groups and government propaganda pollings. We're going to get to that in just a second. Control what you hear and see in the media. Here, being in Georgia, there's a big. We have a major election. The midterms. It's a major thing. Governor change happening since Governor Deal can't run this time. We have chosen two people. Brian Kemp and you know how important she is to me. She's not. That's why I don't remember her name. I will tell you this though. I'm all for Brian Kemp, not because he's right wing. I don't believe in right or left wing anymore. Both are pretty much synonymous with crime and corruption. But the other person who's running has come out straight out and talked about how her election is not just for the American people; it's also for undocumented citizens. She's urging undocumented citizens on TV to come out and vote. She's anti-gun. She wants to turn Atlanta into a sanctuary city. She wants to turn Georgia into a sanctuary state before it's over with. And the video of her burning the American flag was just a little too much for me. But see, the thing is that you have the DNC handpicked her. It's quite evident they did. A black woman. Yeah, they're trying to go for the whole, let's put somebody else in there besides the guy. We've already gotten to that last show broadcast. The last video I did had to do with the feminist attitude, and if we can get straightened up here, and hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a snake moving back here. Yes, my office is also a snake room. I'm sitting here. Okay. Anyway, ignoring all of that. I'm going on a tangent here. It's called filler, okay, to make time. I'm not going to lie to you. So, anyway, no, I mean, the whole. She was handpicked by the DNC. She's not even from Georgia. She's never lived here in Georgia before this happened. She's handpicked by your friend of mine, Nancy Pelosi. She's bankrolled by Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy is out gaining money for this woman's entire election. And I'm really amazed people haven't seen this. They haven't paid attention to what's going on, which this goes right into the whole bit about the whole polls and everything. They're saying right now she has an 85% chance of winning. I don't trust polls, never have, and I'll tell you why. These polling agencies, they never tell you who they polled, where they polled, what time they polled. Right now, for her, the polling is happening in South Fulton County, South Atlanta, pretty much, which is a bastion of Democrats. They're all black. They're all Hispanic. There are no white people there. White people will not go there. White people get killed there. Police barely go there because they're usually shot at. But these are the people that are answering the pollings. And there's a reason for this. There's a very good reason. Bear with me here, please. I have something on my... Oh, okay, good. I thought I had a snake loose. They're going to sit here and say the polls are higher than what they are. They'll go poll these little places, like South Fulton, Gwinnett, and stuff, to make it look like this person's going to win. And the typical other person it's a psychological ploy. The mob mentality. You sit there and think, well, if she's going to win, I'm going to vote for her, okay, because everybody else wants her, and I don't want to be on the losing side. It's the same thing as what happened with Hillary Clinton when Trump won. That's why a lot of these news agencies sit there and cried and were totally flabbergasted about what happened. It was a setup to make the one person win over the other through the media. There's a reason for this. Now, most media, get my notes here, most of the stories you see in the media about the government and about politics are paid for by either the White House, the RNC, or the DNC. That's why I don't trust the news. A lot of these stories are paid for. A lot of the smear campaigns, the wipe and smear that goes on, I told you in my last video how that happens. The wipe and smear is very interesting. Nancy Pelosi explained it all. I'm not going to explain the whole process to you. Go back to the last video and watch it yourself. But they'll pull this. And the media will, because it's paid for by the government, show it. Or they'll pull the whole thing where it's for ratings. We all know about CNN and the Russian collusion and how they said, oh, it's a nothing burger. But they show it for ratings. They don't care about what the real news is. They're worried about ratings. They'll spin something no matter what's going on. Donald Trump could walk on water, and CNN will do a story about how he's anti-fish. It's a spin cycle they do. So wipe and smear from from a political party. Hey, the Republicans do it too. Don't lie. Well, actually, the last presidency, they didn't have to do too much. But the whole thing has turned into, when you call it a media circus, it is. The media are a bunch of whores. CNN has lost so much viewership. Any other cable news network whatsoever would be gone completely off the air. How does CNN stay on the air? They take PR contracts from the government, from the DNC, from any special interest group that will pay enough. A lot of these stories that come through the media are paid for by special interests, somebody with an agenda. CNN is notorious for this. They have engineered a small handful of people to look like a major crowd. They usually use actors. There have been calls for actors to go to CNN here in the Atlanta area for years. Ever since I've been here. And I've been here since 2010. May 2010, so I moved here to Atlanta. Shortly thereafter, I was offered a job working for CNN as an actor. Yeah, I refused it. I don't whore myself out anymore since I retired from wrestling. I have seen where CNN has come up with a small story and spun it around to be major thing, just so that you people will watch it, just for ratings. So let me get my news here. Um, the government, excuse me, snake movie. The government made news segments, and they made it look like local news, and they will actually tell the news station to play it. It will actually pay them a certain amount to play it. That's George Bush, the Bush administration. They had a PR team who did this. They paid $254 million to make segments promoting George Bush. Now, people out there want to bash Bush. Go for it, please. I don't like him either. But Bill Clinton did the same damn thing. It started with him doing that, having a PR team. He spent almost $150 million. It actually saved his ass during the impeachment trials. They actually went out to PR, sent PR people out, put up news stories, the feel good stories. Those are the ones that are paid for by the PR people. Public relations people are constantly, I mean, being told, being reported as being reporters. There have been several times I can count on on both hands. Google it. Google it. Do some homework. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. There have been several instances where the PR companies will put one of their people out as being a reporter reporting on something, and send this video, this segment, to your local news, and have your local news to broadcast it, and it makes it look like that there's a reporter reporting on this, so you think it's true. Never trust the media. I haven't been able to trust the media since the 80s. I saw what was going on in the late 80s. I noticed a lot of things that were not adding up, and I quit believing the media. I do my own research. Now, see, the media doesn't want you to do research. They want you to believe they are the voice of God. And if you do your own research, the DNC will say you're a racist. They'll say you're a fascist. If you do your own research against the Republicans and actually find the truth, Republicans will say you're a communist. You're a leftist sympathizer. See, those terms didn't really come up on their own. They didn't come up from us, the people. That come up in the media. Yes, the DNC, the Democrats are turning socialist. But the thing is, you wouldn't have known that if the media hadn't, like Fox News, hadn't come along and said they're communists, they're commies. The leftists didn't start calling us people here on the right fascists until Trump, right, just before Trump became president. So they conditioned you to say and do things to support their narratives. The thing is, the really cool thing about this whole matter is a lot of people on the right aren't joiners. They're the one. We are free thinkers. We think for ourselves. At least a majority of us do. While on the left, they're easily controllable. All the media has to do is just make an accusation against somebody, and all of a sudden, everybody on the left decides, "Oh, it's got to be true. It's on the news." Don't trust the news. Hell, question me for Pete's sake. I question myself. You don't believe something I say? Good. Go do some research. And don't go to Snopes. Snopes is not, they've been debunked so many times. Anyway, see, why am I skipped ahead. Wow, that's nice. Um, the really interesting problem is that there's no mention of these news segments being made by the government or by any special interest. These are actually a lot of news companies, and your local news too, are paid to air these segments. They are paid a lot. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars to air these segments made by government and special interest groups. They don't come up with all of this news by themselves. They'll sit here and tell you, well, this came from the Allied Press. This was from BBC America. This was from this. We're going to get into that in a second, too. It's, just so they don't have to sit here and cite sources. Used to, any reporter had to cite sources. And that changed. That changed a while back. They don't have to cite any sources. They can sit here and tell you something just to be telling you to gain ratings. When you tell them to cite their sources, they'll say, "Oh, it comes from a source I can't name. They don't want they want to remain anonymous. I can't say anything about who they are because they'll be in trouble. I don't have to cite my sources." It's really convenient that they pull this. It's really convenient that your source wants to be anonymous. I'll tell you something, I don't want to be anonymous. If I say something to the news, to the press, I want them to know, hey, it was me who said it. I want to be the first person out there that gets that gets any notoriety for it. But then again, I'm a weirdo about honesty. Anyway, hey, I skipped to number 4 right there without even reading my notes. Hey, I'm doing good. Let me go on here. I got some really good shit here. There's guys, I don't have to do these notes here. Because I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, except for one thing. In 1948, the Smith-Mund Act allows pro-government news to foreign audiences. I told you we're getting to this. This is fun. To foreign audiences, but not at home. But then it's rebroadcast here to America. It's sent to to American news agencies to be broadcast to you because it falls through a loophole. It came from overseas. Yes, that news story now came from overseas because once it makes it overseas and they send it over here, it becomes a totally different news story according to the Smith-Mund Act. It's a loophole. America will set up this whole entire thing of a smear campaign against somebody, send it to BBC News or Sky News over in the UK. They'll air it and resend it back over here. And then America will air it. The one here in America will air it to you. And they get away with it. All it is their opinion that gets sent and then sent back. And therefore, it's no longer American news. It was on Sky News or BBC News. Same thing happens to them. They'll send a story here, we'll broadcast it, send it back to there. It's a loophole in the Smith-Mund Act. It's an actual law. And, a lot of news agencies know all of this. It's kind of frightening how this operates. It has to stop. We can't trust the news anymore. We can't trust never could trust CNN. I don't even trust Fox News. Holy crud, man. I gotta look for my own news. I don't need them. There's a million independent news agencies out there online who report. All you gotta do is read between the lines. What do they want you to know? What don't they want you to know? How bad do they not want you to know this? Well, they want you to know this, and how bad do they want you to know this over here? You have to read between the lines, people. It's fairly simple. I've been doing that for years. Those of you who are on Facebook, or excuse me, as I call it, Fascist Book, who remember my rants about things, I can't do those rants on there anymore. I'm not able to. They won't let me. That's why I do the videos. Plus, I get these out to a bit more places. Remember me going and talking about something. Talking about the elephant in the room. I enjoy that. I enjoy talking about the elephant in the room, the elephant that's in the kitchen dancing around. That's how I got my information. Is going to a lot of these news sites and reading between the lines. I always said for you guys, read between the lines. Question everything. Excuse me. It's about to rain. We're getting mold in here. Now I want to talk about something else. Got that out of the way. Yesterday, something very interesting happened. Something very reprehensible. I don't know for sure who to blame for this, but I have my theories. Pipe bombs were sent to Hillary, Obama, Maxine Waters, CNN, George Soros. Mario Cuomo even said that one was sent to him, even though it was false. It never was. He's such a fucking joiner. Typical sign of the left. They're all sent to them. The media today, going to the Drudge Report, Matt Drudge, great guy. I have a lot of respect for him. The only one about the pipe bombs I could actually find at the moment of that I was researching all of this was nothing. Those stories that were on yesterday are gone. They're gone completely. I couldn't find them. The only story concerning this that I saw this morning that actually come with any news whatsoever that wasn't said already was they were filled with glass. Yeah, don't talk about where they came from, who sent them, where they went to, how they got there through the mail. Talk about what's in them. Talk about let's talk about they're filled full of glass. No shit, asshole. Pipe bombs are filled full of all kinds of shrapnel. You're lucky you didn't have fucking ball bearings. Those are nasty. Now, oh yeah, supposedly one was sent to Robert De Niro. Most of them, they were all sent to the biggest vocal dissenters of Donald Trump. And this brings me to something. I think this is phony. I really do. I think this whole thing's phony. I don't think anybody sent pipe bombs to these people. That's not how the right operates. Nobody on the right has ever done that. And we're more confrontational. We want to see you face to face. We're not going to be like some coward leftist and bomb your house and run off cackling and hide. We're not like that. This has every hallmark of a leftist doing this. I want you to look at something, people. Why I'm saying this is fake, and I'm going to answer that. How close are we to the elections? We're very close. Why does this have to happen now? This is to take our minds off what is going on, what has gone on illegally by certain politicians. This was meant to take our mind off of it, make us forget it. See, like I told you before, how the left operates. Do something today, tomorrow, deny it, you forget it. They expect you to. This is what they do. This is see my right hand? See my right hand? Don't look at my left. That's doing something. Something's up, and it's the jig. Democrats, you're caught. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out on this. If this were real, how were they sent through the mail? How were these pipe bombs sent through the mail? They had Debbie Wasserman Schultz return address in Florida. So evidently they came through the mail through some kind of cartage company. Which, how does that happen? How do explosives make it through the mail? And well, they talked about about there being stamps on them, so they came through the mail. How does this stuff make it through the mail when they're inspected for stuff like this? You can't send explosives from overseas over here. You can't send body parts. You can't even send bullets through the mail. Okay, that's illegal as hell. So how did homemade pipe bombs make it through? How? A lot of these were found through screening processes before they made it to their recipients. Their mail is specially screened, yes, but it's no different than the regular screening process of mail going through normal channels. This was fake. If this were real, at least one of the bombs would have exploded. Any other time they would have. If one was sent to me or to you, there's a very good chance it would have exploded. They're saying right now that there's a false ISIS flag on one of the bombs. I find that hard to believe. There's been no pictures of this false ISIS flag. These bombs the whole thing was phony. It's to take our mind off of things. And maybe also, as a bonus, the Democrat Party, all the Democrats that are running, get a sympathy vote. Because us horrible, right-wingers, we're out trying to kill people because we're Nazis. Yeah, guys, this story made me think. It made me think a lot. It's phony. One would have at least exploded. They would have been caught in the mail before they made it as far as they did. They could at least, instead of going by a return address, these can be tracked back to where they came from. I've had letters tracked back, hate mail, tracked back to an exact address when there's no address on the mail. It's very simple for the post office to do. They can do it. The FBI can do it. So, if Debbie Wasserman Schultz did send these, why isn't she arrested then? Oh, automatically she does. She wouldn't do that because she's a Democrat. Yeah, guys, I want you to think about it for a while. Think long and hard about the whole situation. There's a lot of questions that have gone unanswered. A lot, and not answering those questions bring up a lot more. I don't believe it was real. I believe it was phony. Why the biggest dissenters of Trump is to make Trump look bad. That's all this was. This is a typical psyops type psychological thing the left likes to do. This is another smear, another tactic they have. Let's do something to ourselves and set somebody else up. If these were real, they would have been picked up in the mail. They would have been picked out. There would have been an explosion. And why so damn close to the elections? There's too many things that don't add up. When I heard about this, my wife told me about it yesterday afternoon. Yes, yesterday afternoon. Told me about it. It immediately set off every alarm I have. Yeah, it's phony. And to those out there of you who are all for explosives being sent to these people, I want you to understand something. These are designed to kill people. That's not cool. No. Excuse me, I got a pop-up here. How the hell am I getting pop-ups? Anyway, yeah, it's these are designed to kill people. We don't kill people. Killing people is wrong. And you guys cheering about it, you're falling right into the Democrats' hands. You're allowing them to do things for you, to control you. This is all about media control. This goes right into the first story I gave you. So, guys, I'm going to have to go. It's about that time. But I want you guys to think about everything I've said. Think about it. Why were these sent? Who could have sent them? Who knows? Why were they sent, and why were they sent to these people? And what's going on right now since it's been sent to these people? Everybody's talking shit about Trump, how Trump caused this. It's not exactly the greatest thing to ever happen. It's not. Think about it, folks. Hey guys, look, I'll be back next week. This is your second one for this week. I'm going to go ahead, kind of what I did Monday for Friday for this week. Okay, I'm going to try to get another one out early next week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Let's see what the headlines say. Let's see what goes on. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. Be good to one another, and leave a like and subscribe. Leave a message. Let me know somebody's out there. You guys take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other, and catch you soon.